Coach, you went with Mackenzie Blackwood tonight. What can you say about how you felt about him?
He was great. Yeah, I think he went in the net and did exactly what I was hoping he would do. And like he's had, like I said before, he had some like really strong practices in the last week. He's had some time to prepare. He's in tune with what's going on in the series and done his homework. And I thought that he went in and played a great game for us.
Jesse and Ryan.
Coach, you guys seemed like you had a lot of control in that first period. There's the double minor, and that felt like it kind of turned some momentum back their way for a bit. I guess just what did you see on that penalty? Did you agree with the call that was made?
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what their options are when they make that call. To look at it. If I was just hoping that that it didn't have to be a major, because I didn't think like he definitely hits him with his stick and a little undisciplined there, but didn't look to me like it was vicious enough to be like a 5-minute major in a game misconduct. So at that point I was just kind of hoping for the best and the Mansonville will stay in the game. I think they probably made the right call, and he was able to do that, and they got the power play goal out of it, and then we had to go to work and try to even the game up.
Ryan and Corey.
Jared, you've talked for years about details and commitment to details. What was your thought on sort of the commitment to details tonight, especially when you go from one stretch where you've only allowed 4 shots to another where they're a little bit more active in your zone and you're sort of having to thin that off?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job. You knew there was going to be a push at some point, but even through that, I liked our attention to detail. Like for me, the biggest change from last game to this game is like we were a more determined group. That's to a man, just more determined and committed to playing the right way. But it wasn't like I didn't hate our details last game. There were some things I didn't love, but I thought that we got out-competed in that game a little bit. And tonight we kind of swung it back in our favor, and guys went to work and relentless all over the rink, and we just looked quicker.
Corey, then Bailey.
Do you have an update on MacKinnon or Nowinski?
I do not.
Okay. And then what did you think of Marty Natchez tonight?
I thought he was good. Yeah, I thought there's not too many. Looking at our roster and the way the game went, there's a lot to like. I didn't think we had any passengers tonight from our goaltender out. Guys played hard, and regardless of ice time, every time they hit the ice, they were ready to go. And so you have to be pretty happy with it, I think.
We'll go Bailey, then Dan.
Jackan is somebody who it seemed like you really appreciated at the beginning of the season, a kind of attention to detail guy, somebody who really contributed well to your group. Just with him playing his first postseason game and the NHL tonight, what did you think of his play?
Yeah, he's didn't get a lot of minutes at times during that game, but he was solid. I mean, he did everything he could possibly do to help us win, and he did a nice job. He's an assertive, confident guy, plays bigger than his size, and he moves the puck pretty well. He goes back for pucks, and if he has an option, he finds it. And so it was simple, but it was he fought hard and played a good game.
Dan, then Peter.
Jared, what keyed those couple of shifts? I think there were 3 shifts right after they tied the game, where you guys were right on them in the zone. What was?
You're talking third period?
Third period after they tied the game, and then you guys go for the go-ahead game.
Yeah, more just like tenacious. I just saw it like we were pretty happy with the way our game was going, and we wanted to make sure that we were taking care of the puck and putting it behind them and getting our forecheck going, and I thought that kind of started it all. There was no hesitation on our forecheck. Guys were skating, they were coasting in, so we came up with some turned over pucks and were able to find a little bit of space in D zone for a couple shifts there, and then we end up getting rewarded, just kind of trying to build another goal, a go-ahead goal.
Peter?
The stretch that Kadri played after the deadline, before he got hurt, you were 9th in the league in power play percentage during that 3-week stretch or whatever. Just what has he brought to your power play that's allowed it to kind of find its footing?
Yeah. So we just kind of talked about this the other day. There's a poise and a patience and the sure-handedness of Naz, like when could be troubled pucks coming around the wall, he's able to settle them quickly and still have the poise to, get you out of some sticky situations. And then when they find time and they're moving it around pretty good, he's a surveyor of the ice. Like if he's really good at sort of taking what the other team gives you, If they're off in position a little bit and he doesn't force a lot of pucks into dangerous areas that can get turned over, he'll move it around a little bit and get it back. And then if you're off by a foot, he'll slip something in there. So he's a great distributor of the puck, and he does it with good timing, and he's a crafty guy that there's some deception to it. So he's helped us out a lot on the power play.
Barrett, then Evan.
The MacKinnon injury kind of jumbled things up with Logan O'Connor, but like it looked like you ultimately, Kadri and Nelson flipped who they played with. You put Ross and Nick with Nelson and Nichushkin and the other winger with Naz.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind that move, and did you get what you were looking for?
Yeah, I did. I liked both of those lines tonight. Like at one point, I think, Nelson's line shot attempts were heavily in our favor on that one, and I thought Naz's line did a great job. It was like you're forced to move some things around right away when Lecky's out. I wanted to separate Val and Nelly a little bit, just give it a fresh look, and Nelson and Wah, when they played together during a little bit of the stretch run, were really good together. So I just moved him around a little bit. I thought the energy of OC and his forechecking ability and skating ability could maybe help Naz and Val. And on the other side of it, we had a little bit of the same from Colton. I thought Colton had a great night. That's one of the best games I've seen him play in a long time. Give him credit. Scores a big goal for us. But both those lines were much better tonight than they were the other night.
Ryan, then Jesse.
Of course, you see Nathan take the puck to the nose. I mean, when you see something like that, A, what's kind of your immediate reaction? And B, do you even need to say anything to him? Or is it just one of those he'll let you know sort of things? Because, well, yeah, he's taken things like that before. He also doesn't seem like the type that would kind of maybe shy away from getting back in the game.
Yeah, no, if he was going to be able to get out there, he was going to be out there. I don't think that was ever in doubt. I just felt for him because I just went through that. It doesn't feel very good. So you're just hoping that your guy's okay. That's the main thing, and then you feel for him because it sucks.
Finish with Jesse.
Coach, you just mentioned Ross Colton, that being one of the best games. Just what's going through your mind when you see that puck hit the back of the net for him, knowing how much we've talked to you about and how much work he's put in?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was super happy for him. Big goal, and I loved the emotion that he showed, because he's been. It's not like he's not getting scoring chances, right? Like he had one earlier in the game on the partial breakaway. I mean, it's just like he needed something to go in for him, and because it's been a long grind for him to try and score. He's been snake bit a little bit, and my message to him, just like all of our guys, is as long as you're working and creating those chances, eventually they'll start going in for you, and you just got to relax a little bit. And but he's kept a positive attitude. I'm sure he's been frustrated at times when some things aren't going in, but I'll take one big playoff goal over a handful of regular season goals any day.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, George.